Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 3 of the podcast, where we will be talking about the second pillar of my 3 pillars that I had discussed in episode 2. If you didn't listen to episode 2, you can listen to episode 2, and then you can also find it a little bit about what we're talking about in episode 2 on episode 1, and it explains my true why and why I'm doing what I want to do and why I decided to choose these 3 pillars for my business. And that being said too, if you don't already find me on Instagram, my Instagram is mindfulbody_by Jennifer. So you can give me a follow there, send me any messages there. But that being said, what is the second pillar of my business, right? So as I had said before, my 3 pillars are the mind, body, and soul, because of my experiences that I had discussed in the first episode. So again, if you have not listened to that, go back and it will help a lot with this episode specifically. So the second pillar is the body section of the mind, body, soul connection. And this one I may or may not talk super long about, just because I believe that the mind is super important. And again, if you didn't listen to the second episode, go back and listen to that one. I think the mind is so important, but for me, the body aspect I've never had a good relationship with my body. I'm still learning how to have that relationship for myself. If you're a girl out there, I can't speak for men because I'm a woman, but if you're a woman out there and you have dealt with any body image issues, or you've dealt with your body and you kind of didn't have a good relationship with it, and you can resonate with me, please hear me out. Because I know for myself personally, I've had a handful of issues with, body dysmorphia, disordered eating, and just definitely comparing myself to others. When I went through that experience, I experienced, and I discussed in my first episode, struggling through a sexual assault is something that truly, from my experience, I struggled with my body really bad afterwards. I was struggling with my body already. I know that in the media and a lot of times as young women, we see other women and we see other things in the media and we kind of compare ourselves and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be a specific way, more or less be perfect. And I'm speaking for myself because that's how I felt as a young girl. And even sometimes till this day, I feel that way. The important thing is with our bodies is that we learn from what we go through in order to feel better. Because if we're not learning from what we go through, then we're not going to build that better relationship with our bodies. So once that had happened to me, like I said, I really had a bad relationship with my body to begin with, and then it kind of just made it 10 times worse. And I know for myself specifically with my body, I kind of just looked at the aesthetic things when it came to fitness, nutrition, for a while, and I kind of was just really saying to myself I wanted to be like this specific person or this person or this person, and I didn't really focus on who Jennifer Barrios was. Like, who is Jennifer Barrios? Like, what is she? Who is she? What does her body want to be? And, our body is just the flesh. And that's why I talk about the mind, body, and soul. But our body is just the flesh of us. There's so many layers to us as a human. And I'm going to get open and honest. This is probably going to be one of the most intense one out of all of my 3 pillars, because it's something that I personally struggle with for so long, but I know for a fact that when I was younger, and so this is my experience with my body as a growing woman, but when I was younger, I started in high school and middle school before I was a sophomore, and I've always been super active, doing some sports like dance, track, all that, I was underweight for a really long time, until probably freshman year, sophomore-ish year, and then I started gaining weight because I started taking birth control. So everyone was like unsure and not really, they didn't understand why I looked different, but I knew in my head it was because of that reason, because I started taking birth control. And like I said, this is like no, like a warning label. I'm not talking on birth control or any of that. But I know I saw the changes in my hormonal changes in my body, very abruptly, going from 80 pounds underweight to having a complete body was insane. It was a shock for me, for other people, and I understand why other people, really sought me out for my my external appearance. It's always been about my external appearance, always been about my external appearance, always been about this. And a lot of times I personally struggled with, okay, everyone sees the outside of me, who is going to see the inside of me? Like, when am I going to find the people that are going to finally see the inside of me? And there are a handful of people that have always seen the inside of me and knew who I truly was as a person, and I appreciate all of you that have done that for me and have helped me along the way, and I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for it. But I know that I put myself in a victim spot a lot of times when it came with these situations, because it was so prominent in my life that it was more about the external body of me and not about my soul and not about my mind. And that's why I tie everything in together now, because I truly believe that all of those layers of a human being, no matter who you are, is so important and so key to being who we want to be when we grow up. I mean, we're always growing as people. It's always important to grow. But I wanted to share that story about, my personal experience growing from middle school to high school. And I had an abrupt change in my body so quickly that I had no idea how to handle that, what to do with it. And I know that other people saw it, and I knew that other people were talking about it, and I knew that other people were really, like, how do I explain it? They were looking at it, like they were just hyper focusing me, and it may or may not have been in my head, but I definitely heard it a lot. So it took like an anxiety over myself. I just felt overwhelmed with anxiety of how I had to be perfect, how I had to look a specific way. And, I thought over the years I would learn from it and it would be different once I, finished high school, once I went to college. But then I truly thought it would get better, and it truly got worse because I dealt with that experience that I just kind of said before, and I also said in my first episode. So if you think about that traumatic event, it takes place on yourself. It is damaging to your body, damaging to your mind, damaging to your soul. So I felt gross. I felt my body, even if I worked out, even if I ate healthy, even if I did everything you can do, live a healthy lifestyle, all of that stuff, I was not healing internally. I was not healing internally. So I was so focused on the external surface layer of me, of Jennifer Barrios, externally, like surface body, just my flesh, that I wasn't even looking at myself internally. And this was destroying me as a human. And it made me wake up every single morning hating myself. Every single morning hating myself. And if you're listening to this and this triggers you, I am so sorry. But I know that I wanted to speak about it because I struggled with it for so long. I struggled with it by myself. I struggled with asking other people for help. And I appreciate people that have helped me. But, I don't want to wake up every morning hating myself because I struggled through something a few years back. I don't want this to eat myself alive. I don't want to hate my body. I don't want to hate this vessel that I live in. I can love my soul. I can love my mind. I can love my body. But I truly just want to find that great relationship with my body. I don't want to have a bad relationship with fitness. I don't want to have a bad relationship with nutrition. I just want to live a healthy, happy lifestyle. And I think that's what's key and important, is that when you suffer through a trauma like that, that you do not, and it's easier said than done, because I know for myself, I suffered for years and years with this specific topic, and I can't say do not, so let me reverse that. So it's just important that you really focus on the internal healing rather than the external body and flesh, because you need to keep your external body and flesh safe and comforted. But you really, truly, if you've gone through something like that, you need to focus on the internal healing and what are you doing to get yourself to the next step to create that strong mind, body, soul connection. And so that being said, after college, and like you heard, if you listened to my first episode, I decided to do therapy. I decided to do internal healing, but also I decided to wake up every morning and look at myself in the mirror and tell myself why I love myself, or tell myself in my head why I love myself, and just create a positive affirmation for myself every day, and just tell myself I'm beautiful, tell myself I'm enough, tell myself I'm strong, and that my body is the best body there is for me, and that I'm doing everything that I can to take care of myself. And that's all that matters, is that what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for your body? Are you taking care of it? Are you focusing on longevity? Are you fueling? Are you nourishing? Are you watering your body? Your body is a vessel. You have one body in one life. You should be taking care of it now rather than putting the stress on your body towards the future. And I could say that I'm not 100% doing that. I mean, I have some stuff in that I still have a little bit of stressors in my life. I'm not, people aren't perfect. We are human. So I still work on it every day. I still have to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to not stress my body out? What do I need to do to find that longevity for my body? And that's the most important thing. I'm going to overemphasize that we have one body, we have one life, and to really focus on the future, and make sure that you're not destroying everything in the present, because you have so much ability to create the body that you want, to be living in the vessel that you want to be living in. So that being said, if you're listening to this and you resonate with anything I said, or if you would like to talk to me about anything, comment below, like, share, subscribe for the YouTube, subscribe for the podcast, give me a 5-star rating, share my podcast, do anything you want with this message, because it's something that I truly, truly, really, really believe in, and I really want more people to hear about it. So if you enjoyed this, or if you resonate with it, please share it with others, and stay tuned for episode 4 already, the third pillar of my business that I'll be talking to you about, which is the soul. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and I will see you on episode 4.